Greetings, one and all. It's your weekly dose of 10 o'clock. This is your lazy, bum-looking host, Xeno. That is your more clean-shaven host, MDRLOz, and that...
I ain't shaved.
I said more clean-shaven. You certainly... Like, dude, you are bold compared to me. Yeah, well, yeah. Literally as well. Right, okay. And we have a special guest of Hitsusan, who is a...
Hey, what's up?
Amazing Tenno Gen creator for Warframe.
That's right.
How long have you been doing it now?
I think it's 3 years or more.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Absolutely crazy. Cool, right, so we'll start with the first thing of this episode, which is the emblems. Right, so Hitsusan,
Right.
In front of you, there are 2 emblems on Discord. Yeah?
Yes.
Using your own criteria, choose the winner.
Alright, so... Soldiers of Tulu. And I don't know what's this other one. It's kinda neat though. You know, I think I like the yellow and blue one better because it reminds me some old old family crests. It's more, I don't know what it is though. Maybe it's something stupid. Let's say that one though.
Okay, fair enough then. Loz actually won one.
Yay!
All right.
So, yeah.
I get what you mean. Actually, sort of like the sort of trio of things is very emblem, like old knightly
exactly.
emblem kind of feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of that. Nice.
Like old families in Italy tend to have that kind of stuff.
Heraldry, that's the word.
Heraldry, yeah. It's kind of neat.
So cool.
The other one is pretty cool though, but yeah, it's not something that we haven't seen many times. Sorry, guys.
It's fine. Fine. Anyway, so that's it for the clan emblems. However, if you wish to win a chance of winning 150 platinum for your platform of choice, then simply go into the description below and you'll find a link to a Google form where you will see both this week's emblems as well as the option to enter your in-game name and choose your platform. And then in 2 weeks' time, you'll actually find, so the winners will be announced of this giveaway, and yeah, we will get it handed out to everyone. Also, the episode 282, the winners for that are in the description below as well. So, as Loz rambles around with his microphone. So, it's always on, Loz. It's always on.
I hate it.
It's always online, Loz. It's always online. Right, so that's it for the emblems. Next, we're moving on to dojo dusting. The new channel is doing well. We will be getting it a custom URL relatively soon. There's actually 2 criteria that are required to get a custom URL, Loz. Do you know what these are?
Over 100 subs and been alive for a week or something?
No, 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, and I was just like, so pretty much everyone was like, oh, you can get a custom URL, you can get a custom URL. I was like, really? I was like, yeah, it's only 100 subs, you get a custom URL. I don't think anyone realized that there was a 30-day requirement because no one, their first channel really gets 100 subs in less than 30 days.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it's pretty uncommon for a fresh channel.
Yeah. So, I think that's it for dojo dusting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use do you actually use the unique URLs to go to places?
Yeah.
Really? I just search for things on Google, but no, fine. Like if say you wanted to go watch, if I was to say send you to PewDiePie's YouTube channel right now, which you should all subscribe to, how would you go there? Would you go into youtube.com/PewDiePie, or would you just go to Google and type in PewDiePie?
I know what you're saying, but it's shorter for the links.
Yeah,
that's something very useful.
That's actually a really good question. As a subscriber to PewDiePie, and everyone should be subscribed to PewDiePie, one thing I typically do is I just go to YouTube look for one of his videos that's in my subscription feed, and then just click on the channel link instead of the video itself.
You get his videos in your subscription feed? I've been subbed to him for ages and the bell, and I never get his thing showing up. I have to go look for them.
Really? Well, YouTube's a mess, you know.
Ridiculous.
Just go complain at them, and they'll probably like, no, this has always been working, and then all of a sudden it starts working again.
Fine. Quick fix up this guy's account, yeah. Right, moving on.
Right, so that's it for Dojo Dustin. We're moving on to the cards. I feel we're going quite quickly. Nope, 5 minutes. Never mind. Right.
You also got your new video coming soon, surely?
I'm hoping that will actually be out by this is.
It's just point people out because it's going to be on the other channel if they come here for 10 o'clock. Think now.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to go back to your main channel, don't they?
Yeah. Crazy.
Makes sense.
Anyway. So there's a new video. If you haven't seen it, go to the. Now I'm committed to actually getting this out tomorrow. There's a new video out on my main channel. Go watch it. Right. So moving on to the graphs.
Give him feedback. He wants feedback. Please
I do want feedback.
Don't just say, "Oh, it was okay." Please let him know in words. Right. Moving on to graphs.
Right. Graphs. So the first graph of the week. So Hitsusan, as I explained to you earlier, before the call, before the recording. These are the questions that we asked or proposed during the last episode of 10 o'clock. So, first question we had, would you re-roll Nightwave weekly tasks for creds? So we're talking like, Wolf for Saturn 6 creds. Would you go like, no, this one annoys me too much, I'm just going to re-roll this one. Right? So 76 people responded. 26% said no. 31% said that they were impartial, and 42% said yes. Now, I'm taking from the impartial is that they're unsure how they would use this. Like, it would be a case of we don't know how the creds are going to work post getting to tier 30 on the current season. So, are the credits actually important to maintain? At the beginning.
Should have gone for not sure, not impartial.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
impartial's weird.
I can't remember why I put impartial. It was more than likely a case of I was doing this Monday morning before the episode had to go live, and I didn't have much time to come up with the responses. And Loz told me to.
Yeah.
Treating all rivals or disputants equally. The ministers cannot be impartial in the way a judge would be. Partial very bad. But yeah, I see. So most people would, which is quite interesting. I think it's a bad precedent to set, but fair enough. Right, moving on to the next one.
Well, what would Hitsusan go for? Loz?
No, we need to get rid of this question.
I think impartial in this case, because, not playing that much, so I prefer people that play more time than me making the decision.
That's a very fair point. I forgot you told me seconds before we started.
That's true impartial.
Okay.
Because we talked to him on the 24-hour stream and said, hey, you done the night waves? He's like, oh, I haven't done the night waves. I haven't been playing in a while. So I thought, why not we just get on to the next one?
So that's my bad.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
Don't worry about it.
Cool. So the next card.
Okay.
Next card.
It's my fault anyway, so.
Nah, it's not your fault at all. It's my fault. Right, so the next card we had was, would you use an aim glide with melee toggle? So, Hitsusan, are you aware of the changes that they have done with melee and guns?
Yes, but I don't understand how the two things go together.
Right.
Can you explain?
Yes, yeah, totally.
All right.
So, one of the big cruxes of this is that if you swing your melee weapon using quick melee, then you'll persist to have your melee weapon out in your hands, right? So
yes.
If you jump in the air and things, you start slashing, then you'll maintain your melee weapon out. However, at any point in time you aim, you bring out your gun again. So if you hold your right mouse button, you bring out your gun. Unless you have toggle aim, which that confuses me so much.
So the main thing is with the new system, it removed the ability for you to sort of aim glide with a melee weapon up. You would instantly pull up your pistols or whatever, and it just you lose that capacity to while having a big two-handed sword out going ping ping ping, jump in the air, and you aim glide and you whip out your pistols till you land.
Oh, okay.
And then if you were sticking with melee, it'd be a bit weird.
So basically, you cannot block while you're gliding through the air. And
aiming.
Exactly. So people have raised this. I've raised this, and we thought, why not have an aim glide with melee feature? So basically, you can only draw your gun if your feet are on the floor. Yeah, so that way, if you're jumping through the air, if you're bullet jumping through the air, and you want to aim glide with your melee weapon out, you can. Yeah?
No, actually. Because maybe you want to switch for your weapons while you're gliding or something. You can do that for like a quick scope, something like that. Well, it's going to be a problem.
Well, it's an option. So the idea was that it was a game option that you could turn on if you wanted to, because otherwise it will just work as it is now, where it's, you know.
I'll tell you what, it's more easier than you think. Just use a double click.
Fair enough.
Like the double click, if you double aim, it pulls up your guns. If you just press it once, it stays with your current weapon.
Oh,
that's actually a really clever idea. Yeah. That completely invalidates this entire card. Everyone's votes are completely pointless.
Right, we'll scrap that.
No, we will. But we did ask the question: would you use it, sort of thing? How would you use it? 72 people responded. 6% said that they would alternate between, having this aim glide with melee and aim glide with aiming. So with guns. 12% said that they wouldn't use it, 30% said that they would use it, and 50% said that they were unsure. So.
All right. So those 50% agrees with me.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's all what Hitsusan said. Right. So.
There is a better solution.
Okay. The third card. Are you more likely Riven trading tool now? Excellent grammar. Really, it's really hard to come up with these cards. There's such a small text limit. It's hard. Right. So the question is, are you more likely to use Riven trading tools now? Right. So, again, I'm not quite sure if you're caught up with the whole Riven Mafia situation.
Oh yeah, I think I'm seeing some of it pretty much.
Right.
I don't know. I've never done it before, so never used any external tools like forums, anything like that for trading. Just done in chat. So I don't think I will go for that. But I see why with Riven it's a much tougher thing to do.
So, like this all stems from the whole Semlar situation, where Semlar had the bot reading trade chat and pulling out the information, and that kind of got shot down. However, DE just prior to last week's episode announced a JSON feed allowing people to get access to pertinent information on how Rivens are being sold on a per weapon basis, right? And so that it was like a legit feed of this information. Though we were questioning like what about exploits and things like that. Anyway, so we asked the question: are you more likely to use it? 60 people responded. 13% said no, and I hope some people left a comment, Loz.
Not really.
Okay. 33% said, I'll continue to use them. So they already did. And 53% said, yes, they'll start using them. Cool.
All right. Well, I'm impartial with this one as well.
Yep.
Because I don't really know. I'm not into the loop, but let's say it like that.
Fair enough.
That's just what the Riven Mafia wants.
Next we have guaranteeing next mission visit versus locked extraction. Okay. So, are you aware of the Wolf of Saturn 6?
No.
Okay.
Please explain.
The Wolf of Saturn 6 is very much like the Stalker, and
yes,
will
that much I know.
Yeah, will on occasion just turn up, but he comes with, just like the Stalker, a unique weapon that's exclusive to him, so he's the only one that can drop it. And he is... I've yet to see him, right? There are some people that I know that say, like, oh, I've seen him twice. Yeah, I still haven't seen him at all. Guy hates me. And this is still common to, like, other bosses like mid-bosses like Stalker, Zanuka, the Harvester, and the Gustrag 3. You know,
yes.
You get to the end mission, you get to the exit tile, you're getting onto your Lisette, and then all of a sudden the dialogue appears of the Stalker going, you know, I'm going to come exact revenge against you, right? So the question was how to tackle that, and the proposition was either when you get to the second to last tile in a mission, the extraction tile is locked, and then the mid-boss will spawn, so it's, you know, it'll make sure that you actually fight it that mission. Or alternatively, if you were meant to fight the mid-boss that mission, but you left too soon, the next mission, that mid-boss will turn up earlier. Yeah?
Is this because people are leaving the mission while the message is appearing?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you do, let's say, a capture mission, you zoom to the capture target, pick it up, zoom to the exit, and just as the last person got the exit, you see yourself getting your Lisette, then it pops up on the side, oh, we're coming to kill you! And you're already just flying off into space.
Goodbye. So, yeah. Well, I think the locked extraction is the best choice in this case.
Yeah, I think
not much. Yeah, the next visit and the next mission can be gamed because you can go prepared if you see it.
Oh, I see. So what you could do, yeah, if you could game it, couldn't you? You could sit at the end of the mission, wait till you get something spawning, the thing you want, exit, and then you know it's going to come next time, so you could bring friends. In fact, you could even offer it to people. I've got
exactly,
on my mission, give me some platinum and I'll let you come do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never even consider that.
No, yeah. A lot of people also said that it wouldn't work for the Gustrag 3, because for the Gustrag 3, it actually gives you a ignore the objective of the mission and escape option. So you couldn't lock them out of that. It just gives you... In fact, Lotus says, oh no, run away from these pointless Grenadier. They're going to kill you. No, they never do. Well, some people. Should we move on?
Well, should we talk about the results?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
58 people responded. 27... Sorry, oh God, how am I reading? Seriously. 20% said that they would prefer the guaranteed next mission visit. 24% said that they didn't care, and 55% said that they would prefer locked extraction.
Yeah,
and then
it's the best choice.
Are you eating?
No. What makes you think I'm eating?
Sounds like you're eating.
No, you're being weird. Right, so then the last card we have, right? So I'm pretty sure you would have experienced this.
Nope,
that's right. Pretty sure you would have experienced this, Hitsusan, where you get a ribbon that has a task that you just don't want to do.
Or it's impossible for me.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to deal with this. So we proposed the question, are there ribbon tasks you would re-roll? So the idea is that this would cost Kuva, and yeah, you would get to re-roll it to a different task and hopefully get one that you want to do, right? 70 people responded to this. 15% said yes, a lot of the tasks. 17% said no, I need Kuva, and 67% said yes, only a few.
Yes, only a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, come on, such a time-consuming and difficult to achieve. That's you just better drop another ribbon for those.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Shall we go to the Patreon questions?
Sure. Okay, so we have 3 people submitting Patreon questions this week for Xeno, from Xeno's Patreon people who supply him with money so he can continue doing amazing things. First is Lumus Azrov. Zenbean. I assume that's you. Mm-hmm. When do you feel DE will increase the amount of Riven slots? When can I stop sacrificing potentially good Rivens to my pool of Endo?
When you complain more on the forums, and then get more people to complain on the forums. When you get a petition that enforces DE to change their policy on the Riven capacity.
I'm not advocating anyone do this.
No,
but in theory,
yeah.
Couldn't you make a second account and just store Rivens on that?
I think DE...
it's not the best solution, though.
If DE found out, they would ban both accounts.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's against the T's and C's. T's and C's state you can't have a second account.
There's several things that's against T's and C's, but people do have second accounts for and they don't get banned. But I'm not gonna say it is a dubious thing, but I'm just, if you were literally so filled with Rivens and you wanted to keep 5 or 6 extra Rivens on a second account, if you got banned for that, I would honestly be like, come on. I mean, so the reason why there's a cap on the Rivens is because the database stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's if you're a player who's buying into Pimaxes, doing all the stuff, and you're just using a second account, you're not exploiting Rivens, you're not trading Rivens in some weird way, you're just literally having some extra Rivens because you don't have time or space for them on your main account. I don't think it'd be that big an issue.
What stops someone from each week, right? There is a Riven Gift of the Lotus to just create nothing but new accounts.
No. Obtaining additional Rivens on the other accounts, that would be bad because then you're using the second account to get beneficial extra stuff. I literally mean an account that just sits there and holds the Rivens and trades them back and forth. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if you were having like 10 accounts to go do the weekly, the bi-weekly Gift of the Lotus Riven reward, and then you could get yourself 10 Rivens, yes, that is definitely violating the point of the actual wording of the EULA or whatever. But I feel just using it for a little bit of extra capacity yes, it violates it in potential, but it's not the spirit. It's you're not abusing the game. You're just trying to get a bit more space. But I wouldn't advocate anyone and shoot at your own risk. But yeah, because it's bad. But it doesn't seem that bad to me.
Here's a question though. Does DE does that because they don't want to create like huge database? Is that the problem?
Yeah. Well, because is each river obviously? I mean, Xeno, I'm gonna probably fudge this, and Xeno will be like, "That's almost right." So for each ribbon, obviously, you've got an item in a database has to store that, which has its between 2 and 4 different variables, which could be either positives or negatives, and then that number is unique to that ribbon because it could be like anywhere. Some of them are, let's say, plus 80% to up to plus 260%, and it can be in individual increments all the way up there. So it needs to save so many individual numbers for each ribbon, rather than just literally if you say a serration mod. This person has a serration mod at and there's rank as well. Obviously, most mods it just saves you have serration at rank 7. That's all it needs to save. But instead, it's got all these additional fields with additional numbers that it needs to save. So there's just so much individuality per ribbon that it's just so much more extra space to store.
All right. So there is one problem and probably one solution, but I don't know if it can be done in the Warframe system in their database, and that is to generate like an hash code or an ID code for that particular ribbon mod. It's something that it gets done in games to not duplicate one object. When you're saving a number, they got like an hash code, and that object becomes unique. But the number is just one. It's bigger, but you don't have to save like many variables. And the other problem is that if you create a new account, aren't you actually like occupying more space in the database?
Yeah.
With a second account. So
yeah. That's why I'm like, it's not very good, but at the same time, it's like, it's not going to break the game now. But,
So there's a multitude of different things to take into consideration of how you do this. The hash thing would work, but you'd still have to have unique hashes for each ribbon, because you're meant to be trading these things. You've got the number of rolls on it, so on and so forth.
There's another valuable. Yeah, they're very valuable.
Okay, but not if you do it like a seed number. A seed number generates the same thing that, like, if I'm using a seed number to generate this ribbon, with the same seed number, I can come back to the same like statistics.
But are you looking at not only the same attributes with the ribbon, but also the same values?
Yeah, well, ain't that the same thing?
No. So, like, for example, you could get a Tenora ribbon, right, which has punch through. I'm gonna say bullet velocity because it's useless.
All right.
Damage,
zoom,
and positive zoom. Right. So you got your 4 stats, but then you got values to those stats. So you got like plus 30%, plus 35%, plus 100%, plus 2000%. Right.
Yeah.
So with the hash, would you also have to encrypt the actual the values into the ribbon as well? Because if you do, you'll have to find. It will only be useful if there are duplicate ribbons that are exactly the same in statistics, right? And then at that point, like, yeah, okay, cool, we've saved some database space, but how many ribbons are exactly the same?
Well, I think like some number probably, but yeah, I got what you're saying. It's like a minor number. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Personally,
I don't know how the database works. So
personally, I would say get a bigger database.
It's not that easy though, because you have to share this data from player to player and player to servers.
To be honest, I imagine they're using something along the lines of either Algolia or Elasticsearch and things like that. So to make it as flexible as possible to move the data, but the problem is it takes physical space in that capacity. So anyway, should we move on to the next question? Otherwise we'll be here for a while.
Okay, so we've got 3 questions from Blaze Rios. If a sandwich falls and no one's around to catch it, will you be there to get it, Xeno?
Yeah, I'll eat it.
Sure, it depends on the sandwich.
That's where it falls.
What would be a bad sandwich, Loz?
Branston pickle.
I knew that was coming. I could just sense it. It was just coming. Yeah, okay, I'll leave that sandwich alone.
See, and these are very deep questions when it comes to sandwiches. Right, next one. How do you think we will get Wisp since they're supposedly a ghost frame?
I think Valkyr will end up in.
You guys didn't see the dev stream. They went through all of Wisp's powers,
right?
Which are quite cool.
Yeah.
Did they say how we would get Wisp?
I don't think they did. They kind of joked about it, saying you needed to do like 10,000 moon missions or something.
Right. Okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she's put on the new Gas City tile set and Valkyr has moved off onto the dojo.
Yeah, they always do that, don't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, last question is, do you think the D will give us more pets/sentinels to have?
No.
Well, there's another Kvat coming.
Oh.
Isn't there?
Well, why not?
Because they're not going to give us any more sentinels. Sentinels are awful and they don't care about them.
All right. that's fair.
Death Cube! What does freaking Vaporize do? It just freaking pew!
It does.
Ooh, that was useful.
Does nothing.
Does nothing. Zurukul asks, why are your Patreon and Discord and clan rank tiers themed around sandwiches?
Well, if you heard the other question mere moments ago, you would know I would eat any sandwich that isn't Branston pickle.
What about coconut in a sandwich?
That's not a sandwich. That's an abomination.
I know. Zrugal lastly asks...
Hold on. That's like saying, why don't you eat a Bounty chocolate bar? That's not chocolate. That's a mess. Right? You put coconut, wrapped it in chocolate. It's not a chocolate bar. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Zrugal also asks, in episode 277, you said there was something you needed to tell Loz afterwards. What was it? I need to know. I don't actually need to know. I just thought it was funny. Been sitting on that question for a while.
Fuck, I can't remember.
As soon as the episode finishes,
we're done.
Take the memory file that is episode of Tenno Clock and chuck it in the bin.
We delete our temporary storage folder.
Yes. Right, that's it for Patreon questions. Let's move on.
You'll never know.
My questions? Comments? Is it comments?
No, he will never know about the 277, what I was going to talk to you about.
Well, I don't remember what it was, so... Don't you remember either?
Do the community responses!
You didn't tell me to. I said it and then you interrupted me and I was like, oh...
No, I didn't!
Yes, you did. Right, Ildren asks... Oh, Ildren says... Okay, this is for you, Xeno. I won't yell too loudly, but it's all in caps. I paused at 2 seconds in and answered all the questions, Xeno, and you can't stop me.
Good.
Also, with all the talk... what? Sorry. Oh, sorry, for Hitsusan. So basically, you know the cards feature in YouTube that we have where you can click the eye and then it has all the polls that we're suggesting, the questions we went through earlier. Xeno likes to have them timed so that people know exactly when he's put them on the video. But nothing stops people literally loading the video, pausing it, and then without even... Because we put the cards in each topic as we go. But they'll just answer all the cards without knowing anything about the topic. And Xeno is very, very saddened by this. Very saddened. So also, with all the Riven talk at 1 hour 39 minutes in, only reinforces my disinterest in Rivens. I don't want to have to pull out the economics guide every time I make a Riven trade.
So true.
Tony Kovanheim says, where do we find this Riven data?
Reddit. What? It's on Reddit. That's where I found it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The raw stuff, but... people will probably be making some nice, cool websites so you can access this data, such as our favourite one.
Semler. Riven Market.
There we go. Riven Market, there you go. So these things will probably be updated soon with this information. Swivel C says, as a trader of mainly prime parts and mods, Rivens have been a mystery on pricing that I haven't mastered. Most of my Rivens I sell put an extremely low but reasonable price. For example, Extra Nami Skylar Riven I have for sale at 30 platinum due to not caring about it much and need to make a little room. Still have 4 Rivens unlocked for a YouTuber. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Xeno?
Okay, I thought he had some. I've not seen him online!
So as you were saying earlier, Hitsusan, about, really hard to do Rivens, Xeno actually has someone who opens his Rivens for him.
I pay him. I pay this guy, okay?
I haven't thought about that. Maybe that's a good solution for toughest Riven.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's 10 platinum an open, isn't it?
No, it's 10. 10 open.
That's pretty fair,
Really? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's nothing. So,
yeah.
Good. I'll pay Warframe to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, with... You should put in a catch option. It's like, you have to catch 100 fish while doing somersaults, whatever, or pay $5 to open this Riven.
Warframe should pay to win!
Pay to win. Awesome Todd says, first off, I think it's for you again, Xeno, can you just open Badger's troll gifts already? Please, please, kind sir.
No.
Okay, I assume you've got loads of gifts in your inbox which you refuse to open. Thanks for that. So I assume that's
no, it's a case of like...
Most likely all rocks.
I want... No. They're all Warframe slots to be filled with Oberon. But, like, I don't know how many Oberons to build unless... unless I make one for the available slot. So if I open up all the slots, I don't know how many Oberons to build because they take 3 days a build. I'll lose track. That's why they're locked.
There we go. Okay, so Frostia says counter argument to Lars.
Yeah, Lars.
My name isn't Lars.
Shut up, the other guy.
The god tier Rivens are not the other guy. They're not needed. And if you allow for a sure way to get them, you make them mandatory and have to deal with a lot of power creep. Right now, they feel like a bonus, a great thing to keep chasing, I think. Maybe its power is linked to RNG, but it's not mandatory power. You can do fine without it. Then again, I'm not a Kuva farmer, and maybe others think otherwise. So I was actually going to question to you guys, and maybe even make a card. I don't often recommend them. Do you feel Rivens are mandatory? I mean, I don't know about you. If I'm doing proper content, I'm pretty sure my weapons always have a Riven. I don't go, oh, I'm going to use this gun for this, new content that's high level, and not go with a Riven. I feel they kind of are mandatory. I don't know what you guys think. Do you feel you can get just as much damage without them, really, or?
Well, probably not, but yeah, there are a lot of mods in Warframe that once you know they're there, you feel they're mandatory. But I mean, you can do the same content without them. It's just you won't do as much damage, probably. But
yeah, exactly.
still.
Yeah.
One thing. So I started doing a Warframe weapon build series, and some weapons, the Rivens make a huge performance difference, like doubling your damage. Other Rivens do fuck all. They literally do not make it any easier in things, unless you have like an amazing Riven. So a standard Riven sometimes just adds absolutely nothing. And that was the Redeemer Prime Loz, right? Yeah. The one that cost 480 platinum did fucking nothing, absolute fucking nothing. It was kind of a waste of the actual platinum to buy it. I mean, I'd have to dump I don't know how much Kuva before. Well, actually, yeah, no, I don't know how much Kuva in order to actually make it worthwhile. Whereas some Rivens you get for like I got one for the Lato, instantly makes my Lato Vandal more awesome. Like, awesome. I've got one for is it the Penta? No, Penta's the grenade launcher, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is the one, might be the one that's like a rifle that shoots, like plasma shots, but it has the 4 cartridges at the end that it starts pinging off, and you have to reload it by taking this ring off the end and putting it on. It's got like 4 cartridges. Oh. You know what I'm talking about? There's a Prisma version of it.
It's Tetra something, isn't it?
That's the one. It is the Tetra. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Tetra?
No. I kept on thinking the Quanta, but I'm pretty sure the Quanta's the bicycle pump.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I thought it was Tetra somethings and Tetroid or something, but no, it is literally just Tetra.
Yeah, the problem is like, Quanta, because it's got 4 things. No, that's a bicycle pump, which has 2 things. Thanks.
Yeah.
Naming convention. Anyway.
Oh, true to the Tetra's description, the word Tetra is a Greek prefix meaning 4.
Oh, fuck you then.
Ooh.
Anyway. So sometimes Rivens can make a huge difference, other times.
So the last one that's replied is from Majoga, and I thought this was weird. I didn't do the 3 consecutive Shoutout wins in the index. That was a Nightwave last week Hitsusan, where you had to do the index 3 times in a row without the enemies capping 1 point. It was a bit tricky, but it's fine.
Okay.
So they said I didn't do the 3 consecutive shutout wins in the index. Seemed too much to ask in my opinion. But I'm already rank 30 plus 1. Is that possible?
Well, yeah, if they spent the entire time catching dudes.
Yeah, but we spent it on a double weekend, did 24 hours straight, only found 45, and that was about
but that was only
1 level.
That was only 24 out of the weeks that it's been out.
No, but you'd have to be seriously committed to max it out from that, surely. Because we were doing double, remember? So that was the equivalent of 2 days full farming. Madness, I say. Oh, well, fair enough. Well, that's it for the comments. You move on to the topics for this week, Xeno.
Sure. How are you doing, Hitsusan? You doing good?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm having fun.
Oh, you don't have to lie like that. Right.
All right.
So
no, I'm joking. Seriously.
So, topic 1 is DevStream126, which was the one that was yesterday. Pretty sure. Topic 2 is there should be a way to increase the grass view distance in Plains of Eidolon. Interesting topic. And then topic 3, Umbral Former reinforces how much we need underclocking. Double interesting.
What?
So we'll get to that in a little bit. But so the first topic, DevStream126. So I'm probably going to read out these bullet points and then rely on Loz to actually fill in any gaps or highlight anything that wasn't.
I did fall asleep midstream, but then rewatched the ending of it this morning, and was very pleased because there's a bit at the ending that made me very happy. You might read it out.
Okay. So Garuda Deluxe in progress.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Does it?
Looks pretty cool, yeah.
And Reb looks at it and goes, "It's vampire!" Everything. There became a meme to say that anything with spikes or anything was vampire themed. It's just ridiculous. Yep.
Amalgam enemies were shown off.
Yeah, they did it with Wisp. They were going around the tile set with Wisp, the new tile set.
Okay, cool. Then the Valban rework planned no real plans.
That's not fair on no real plans. There was a bit more to it than that. So, do you remember the Nervo? That was I think that the really early thing that incapacitated players, another player had to free them. But I think they used that same model for like the Seeker Grenier orb things, the rollers, something like that, something small. And They were saying that they were going to make Valban's stuff more portable and I think a little bit less CC based and more up to date because he's really fallen behind, as some people have pointed out many times. But yeah, so they're going to look into updating him, and he's going to be a lot more mobile. And so a bit. Do you know how like Octavia has that orb thing that goes around with her?
Yeah.
Imagine that, maybe smaller and several, and that maybe they could Tesla as well. So his orbs are going to be like maybe moving with him, kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wukong rework planned, no real plans.
I don't remember them talking much about Wukong, and I think they just it said he's another one to be worked on.
Okay.
Yeah, they said there were like a bunch of them that planes and the open world made less viable to play.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wisp and Gas City are coming soon.
Yeah. So did you watch it, Hitsusan? Did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Actually, that's someone who can help me out then. On the Wisp powers were very weird, in my opinion, because so her passive, I remember that was interesting. When you jump in the air, you're invisible, which is kind of cool. So I imagine that when you're playing, you can keep jumping, and the mobs will be like, oh no. So that'd be quite useful. Then her ultimate, right, was she puts a portal in the sun. And so she summons like an energy ball and then shoots fire laser beams from it. And it was like a Kamehameha.
Exactly, yeah.
But then...
It's pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool. Then she had one where... Oh, God. So, Xeno...
Sorry. I heard... You said Kamehameha. Mm-hmm. I heard the absolutely ludicrous notion of putting a portal in the sun. I forgot what you said beforehand. Right,
that was the fourth ultimate.
So that's the ultimate.
Yeah, that's how cool it is. Yes. Did you forget anything that's?
Did you go over any other abilities? Seriously, you said that. I'm like,
passive.
Right. What's the passive?
When you jump in the air, you're invisible while you're in the air.
But you have a Kamehameha laser beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very stealthy.
So basically,
and
you're
also a giant ball of I don't know what the hell that thing was, like the giant silver ball that spins. I think it's a debuff or something. I don't know. It's one of the abilities.
Yeah, no. Oh, so then her third ability. Oh, yeah, that's the spinny ball thing. So I think it was the third. I might get these numbers the wrong way around, but I remember her 3 other abilities now. So she sort of sends out a ghosty copy of herself that she can. That when it reaches the end, it'll explode. I think, or while it's in cache, she can teleport to the location it's currently at.
While it's in cache.
While it's floating forwards, it goes forward like a ghost. Do you remember? I think like Sylvanas has the same ability. Here's a storm for you for a relevant point. It's basically that ability. It looks all wavy and it goes forward, and then you can teleport to where it is. So you can sort of throw it off in one direction, jump and do something else, then teleport back to it, or just leave it and it'll do damage. Then now I think this is a 1 and a 2, but it might be a 1 and a 3. Okay, now her UI has like 6 circles in a sort of pattern of a ring, and you cast one, and she puts down like a potted plant with a thing, and she can cycle between 3 different potted plants.
Sorry, a thing?
Yes, a potted plant.
So is the thing in the potted plant?
We'll get to that. You put down a potted plant.
Right?
Okay, right. Right, and then one circle on the ring will get filled with that. And there's 3 different things you can put potted plants you can put down. One was health, one was generic buff. I think it was damage. And then I can't remember what the third one was. I think it was energy. No, it was CC. There was a CC one. There wasn't there. So you put those down. And when you can have up to 6 of these potted plants out at a time, right? And I think then when people run through them, they get a buff for like 30, 40 seconds based on the potted plant they ran through. And they can have all 3 buffs off at once. And then you can have 6 of these potted plants out that fill the 6 slots on her first ability, which you can cycle through to which plant you're putting down. And so you can have like all of them being health ones or all of them being CC ones, right? And that doesn't make any sense, but that's how it works.
It's similar to like shamans work in World of Warcraft.
That's a good way of thinking about them, yeah. Rather than potted plants, totems, yeah, they're sort of totems, and they do different buffs. Yeah.
So basically, she puts down totems.
Yes,
pretty much.
Which people can walk through to pick up buffs, and she can also run through to pick up the buff, right? And then her other ability casts a pulse from the totems.
So, what kind of pulse?
Based on the totem. AoE expands from the...
But there's 6 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up to 6.
So is that 6 different types, or up to 6 you can plant?
You can have up to 6 totems, and the totems can be one of 3 types. So you can put down 6 of one type, or you could put a mixture, you know?
Okay.
2 of one, 2 of 2, 2 of the other, yeah. And then they all do different buffs.
But if you want the buff, you have to make physical contact with the totem.
Yeah, because it's sort of like a flower, and then there's a thing floating above it like that. And that disappears and appears again. And then that floats around your character when you've got the buff.
Okay.
I personally, right, I don't get how that combines with Kamehameha Sunwave. It was supposed to be like portals, but I just do not see how that meshes at all.
Well,
it makes no sense.
My thought is, okay, so we have a ghost, we have a wisp, we have like an ethereal being, moves around invisible, you know, floats around, and then Kamehameha. I'm like, what? Like, that does seem like a huge... But to be fair, like, the ability set sounds kind of confusing.
I don't know.
Solar powered Kamehameha.
Yeah, as long as it is fun. I mean, that's... I don't know. I think they run out of ideas for Warframes. There are too many. So
I've got to be honest.
At this point,
I've got to be honest. I've been feeling this for a while because, like, so many of the Warframes just feel like, oh, gotta do damage, nothing but damage, damage, and it's just. But my gun kills everything already. Like, I feel pointless with this Warframe. Like, I was really looking forward to Hildren, but I've still not had an experience where I've had to use Hildren's abilities. I think I have just basically have to take, right, I've got an MK1 Baron, an MK1 Lato.
No. For Hildren's more of a team play. I love Hildren's team situation.
But in team situations, I've just never. Maybe I just have to do arbitrations.
You can poach shields and armor from people. You can give shields back to your teammates. You are much more in the group kind of thing, while also being able to do damage. It's a very hybridy, mixy frame. See, Hildren, I think Hildren is actually one where they've actually come up with a good idea. But for some of them, these personally, I'm like Revenant and they're kind of like Warframe was one theme. Now there have to be like two themes to make sense. So this one is sort of portals and ghosty wisp thing, and Hildren is sort of like shieldy thing and damagey tanky thing. I do feel they are struggling to come up with
which is okay because people tend to play like single player sometimes and in group for other activities, so you get like something to do with both situations. So yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they use like solar powered kovanma. I wasn't expecting that for sure.
It's like, and it's got these totems it puts down and gives buffs and does AoEs and can move around. And
now we got double energy colors, so I don't know what that's going to look like in the game though. So it's gonna be pretty awesome to see. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was this big thing at the end, Loz? Sorry. There was what we spent so long on the one point that the last point of this list is new endless game mode coming soon.
Yeah, I don't remember them mentioning that much.
Not really.
No,
me neither.
I can't remember them talking about it.
Okay, so I'm guessing that wasn't the big thing, Loz.
Oh no! Well, I've seen it's in the comments, so I actually have a meme on this, and I was gonna say it for most meme, but I saw it. Scott was like, "I'm gonna nerf the Itzel."
Yeah,
I'm gonna nerf it. And then Rebecca and Steve were like, "Oh well, we haven't discussed this." And I think, and Scott was like, "I'm gonna nerf this." I'm not. You got it's like, oh, he's just had some beers. He's had some beers. No, I'm gonna nerf this. He was very adamant. He's like, enjoy this while you can. I am nerfing this or removing this. And Steve was like,
to be honest, I saw his Twitter saying this, like, if you're gonna leave feedback about what's happening to the Itzel, please be constructive. And in all honesty, I was gonna reply with remove the teleport. Just remove it, because
no, it's the teleport. The teleport.
Yeah. Well, but I was just saying, remove it. Like, I use it constantly. I use it all the time. There's no point to any other Arcwing because the Itzel is just bam, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, just get rid of it. I'll probably be sad when it comes to filming, and that's it. Oh no, I have to actually move like a real human being.
Well, no. Do you want to tell the story that how broken the Itzel is, just for people who might not know, and obviously Hitsusan might know, when you proved that it was how broken the Itzel?
Are we talking about when we were at the?
Yeah.
So when we were doing the Sunny Solaris trailer, I don't know if you've seen that. Hitsusan. No,
I haven't.
Loz can link it to you while we're talking, because otherwise I'll forget before the end of this. So when we were flown out to D, absolutely brilliant, and we had DE Dean, who was sat next to us, helping us with all the instructions and things. And one of the things that he actually taught us to do was change the speed in which we could detach from the playable character and get to the destination we wanted to record the footage we wanted.
Because obviously we were only there for a day, and everyone knows how big Fortuna is. We needed to get around the map quickly to try and see it. The first time seeing what we could, find some cool angles, get some pictures, and try and get. We also had to get back to each other and do stuff, recording things. So we needed to travel around the map as quick as we could. So they gave us the dev thing that was supposed to be quicker, wasn't it? It's code.
Yeah. So it was like, type in these commands to do it and whatever. And as he was saying this, right, I hopped on the Itzel and I blasted all the way across the map faster than he could actually type the commands in and faster still than the actual camera moved, this detached camera. And it was because it was in like the Captura mode. There were no
energy requirements.
Exactly. So it was just like done. We're there.
So the moral of the story was the Itzel was more powerful in its movement than the dev's tools were for moving around a camera. That's how stupid the Itzel was.
Alright, it's pretty broken.
And it's all Loz's fault.
Hitsusan, because Xeno wants you to have that to watch later.
Nice.
There you go. Xeno spent a lot of work on that. But anyway, so that's just pointing out how ridiculous and broken it is. This ability was just, as Scott was saying, Rebecca was just going, oh no, the point was in the dev stream, what they were saying is, should they increase the speed of the K drives to keep up with the arc wings?
No.
And then Rebecca just gets on an Itzel and then just goes, you can just do this. And then Scott was like, yeah, this is going. Enjoy this while you can. Because, it means, because this is on one arc wing, it means you have to use this arc wing if you want this capability. And it's so unique, you need to have this. I'm just going to nerf this. I'm removing it. And then it was so funny watching them try to calm him down and say like, oh no, I think Steve went, oh yeah, he is part of the dev team, but we haven't discussed this yet. And he's like, no, I'm nerfing this. I'm nerfing this. He was pretty adamant. And I was just like, yes. Because there's only, 4 arc wings?
Oh,
and
no. No. Is there... It's all the first one.
Odinata.
That's the first one. The one with the nuke. Oh, God.
I always forget that one's name, I'll be honest. But
begins with an E.
Electron.
Yep. Then there's the one that begins with an A. That's supposed to be the healing one.
Amacia?
Yeah. I swear there's a 5th one.
There is a Prime one.
There's Odinata Prime.
Maybe there are only 4.
There's only 4.
So
there's only 4 of them. And then you've got one, which is just so superior in one facility with the ability to move. And the Arcwing on the planes and on Obvalis is basically relegated to just a movement tool anyway.
It's just a movement tool, yes. So it's it's making the other ones obsolete, pretty much.
So it's got to go. That ability, nerf it.
Yeah, no. And everyone knows how much I use this ability. I am 100% down for it gone.
Yeah, definitely. Right, yep, I just feel that was the end, and it was just quite an important point, but I think Steve was like, ooh, don't want to do that, ooh. You have to watch it, I'll get you a
time. Yeah, of course people is going to be pretty mad about that, but
yeah.
Nobody can say it's not broken for that, it's possible.
I feel we should make this a card. Yeah.
Oh, go for it. What's Scott's Twitter, by the way? I can't find it.
What do you want about? Just link it to him here.
No, I want to find Scott's Twitter.
Oh, it's Grenier with 3 E's.
3 E's, that's it. Ugh. I was like, I know it's Grenier.
Crap, I was going to ask. Right, so... do you feel the Itzel teleport should be removed? Yes.
Yes.
Hit that button. There. Cool. Right. So should we move on? Oh, sorry. Is there anything that needs to be elaborated on the points that were previously discussed, or should we go straight into the replies, Loz?
Just go straight into replies.
Okay, Loz, go into the replies.
Oh, okay. Wisp's skill set looks cool as all heck. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like outside of her 2, her abilities are a massive waste of potential for a cool, modern, sleek stealth frame. I think her 2 was the send forward and stealthy swap thing, and the 3 was with the 1 and 3 with the totemy ones. I think then we are. I am beyond disappointed with what I saw, and her passive turning her invisible while in the air seems wasted on a support/damage frame. I thought that the invisible was fine because that's going to reduce your damage and you're just going to be jumping around all the time. It's going to want you to stay in the air. It's going to mean you're going to use the mods, which very rarely keep you in the air, are a massive now damage reduction for you. And when within a group, mobs are going to be like, oh, I'm going to shoot you. Oh, no, you're not there. Oh, I'm going to shoot. I don't even know what the damage potential of that, the damage reduction of that is going to be. I think it's going to be really good. it was very similar to Excalibur's Super Jump had something similar, which was when you did the Super Jump, one of its last iterations is they added invisibility to it. I actually really hated when they took that ability away, because what I would do is I would use that as a free reload. I could shoot my gun all I want, and when I need to reload, I would Super Jump, and just while I'm going up in the air and coming back down again, I get to reload my gun with no worries of any mobs doing damage to me. It was quite useful. So you could probably do something similar with her. I think that's the passive's fine. The totems did feel really weird to me though, and how do I combine with Sunbeam? Like, here's something, Hitsusan, actually, because you saw the Sunbeam and you understand it. Maybe if like the sun, if like the totems also shot smaller sunbeams, that would make sense to me.
Oh. I'm trying to figure out how the Warframe is played. So pretty much you are flying around. I mean, imagine this. Pretty much you're flying around, like bullet jumping and then sliding in the air, invisible, putting down the totems around your fellow players to hide them somehow. And I don't know what the fuck the Sunbeam is for in that situation, because everything else makes sense. I mean, even like the teleport, maybe you're like in the middle of gunfire and you're trying to help your teammates, and if somebody is shooting you, you just go to the like decoy teleport, pretty much like which is Loki, I think. Something similar, but in movement, which is like a little quirk, somehow different. But yeah, I don't know.
So,
like the ultimate seems weird.
So
unless maybe the raid does something to your teammates as well. Maybe if you hit them.
That would be good. Yeah.
So
maybe.
So to highlight on what you've spoken about, there does seem to me, just listening to what you have described, there feels like a disconnect, right?
It is.
You're putting you're all about mobility, right? However,
and buffs and support buffs.
Yeah, but sorry, hold on.
Mobility and support buffs. Yeah.
So you are jumping around invisible, so you got the mobility aspect there, you got the teleportation aspect, but then you got these support buffs which you are planting on the floor?
Yeah.
So is this not similar to Vauban's problem with his...
I was thinking that while watching it as well. But...
I don't know, because if you're in a huge fight, you have like a huge arena you have to take care of, while for healing people and maybe aiding them, and you put the totem in a strategic place, and you make them pulse to like fill the whole arena pretty much, and you have many, so you can keep putting them where you need them.
Yeah, you can have 6, and obviously there's a lot of variation in what you can put, because one of them. So you put the totem down, Drew, and people pick up the buffs. One of the buffs was a CC buff, and I think the way that worked is that when people shot you, when you had the CC buff up, you CC'd them. So it's much more active, because you put down the things for people to pick up the buffs, but then the buffs are on the people, and the people can then move around. That's why it's not like, as bad as Fab.
But how long do the buffs last? That's the big...
They were like 45 seconds, and that was unbuffed with any mods.
Right, okay. So you could make them last for a very long time, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I imagine with duration you could probably get like a minute or 2 out of each one, and then people might have to go pick them up. But then you could put them all together in like a row, and people just run through the row, then go off and do something for 2 minutes, come back, run through the row.
Or maybe you just put them like near them and make them pulse, and
yeah.
And people don't have to pick them up that way. So it's
okay. Moving on to the next reply.
But back to the disconnect. So you've got all this, and still you just went over the points, and then didn't connect it. I think maybe your brain has now disconnected as well. And then there's a Kamehameha blaze of it.
Well, no, because
what the hell is this thing?
But that's what I mean. That's what I was talking about. You've got the support buffs. You've got this static. I'm a turret now, like Mesa was. We got rid of the static aspect of Mesa's
she
turret.
Can move while Kamehameha-ing.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Like
yeah.
Okay.
She can move around, and
you can't see anything.
Are you just horrifically blinded?
She's literally holding like a giant orb, and the giant orb is massively firing stuff up, and then it leaves like bits everywhere when it hits things, and it leaves like melted effects and
yeah, it's super cool. And if you're in a closed space, you probably melt down your entire computer.
Can
you imagine 4 wisps together Kamehameha-ing? You just won't see anything.
Don't cross the beams.
Maybe that's a mechanic. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
who knows? Hopefully that is.
The only thing that actually makes me think is like, you call that a death beam? This is a death beam.
It is that ridiculous. It really is. It's insane. But I just don't get because they started saying that the idea is she's all about portals, and that the totems are something she's summoning from somewhere, so that it's then also that she's able to summon from the sun.
Well,
yeah, the problem is it's not just all about portals, because pretty much all her abilities are buffs and something useful. There is no damage in there, not that much. But then there is like giant Kamehameha, so I don't know.
I like your idea about if you hit your allies with it, because maybe then you could have some cool synergy. That let's say that if people have the buffs up and you hit them, it refreshes the buffs and gives them an improved version. That'd be interesting, because then you're using
maybe you can like I don't know, just apply all the buffs that there are with the ray. I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't make sense anyway.
Okay, yeah, that's it. You know, yeah, you can see how confused.
Extra ply.
The only reason Itzel sees so much use is because it's fastest Arcwing, and the vast majority of players use it for the planes or orbs Valis to get from point A to B. Cosmic Crush is also easy way to gather up loot from Eidolons or Old Mother fights, because Vacuum/Fetch doesn't work for whatever reason. As far as an actual Arcwing mission goes, I'll take Amisha over the Itzel anytime. Problem is, there's only a handful of them. Add more Arcwing missions, and I'll be using the other Arcwings a lot more.
No, you need to get rid of it.
Point in that,
yeah,
but at the same time, most Arcwing missions are also move through a map or defend multiple points on a map where you need to get between the points as quick as possible. The mobile defense. I think mobile defense is the only endless Arcwing mission, and has you traveling quickly between a couple of points to defend them, which the Itzel again is just superior at.
Mobile defense? No.
Inception, sorry.
Right.
Mobile defense is in there, but it's not endless. The only endless one is interception, which is 4 points and defend 4 points. Oh, look, Itzel gets between them really quickly. You know, so I do want more Arcwing missions, and I think I think that one of the reasons for this change from Scott is because Railjack's going to come, and Arcwing. They can't ignore Arcwing anymore, because if they want Railjack to work, they showed the ship was quite a slow lumbering thing. The Arcwings have to play an interesting and important role of that. They can't just be to get between your ship and the enemy ship. You're gonna need to. They can't ignore it anymore, and they need to make Arcwing interesting, balanced, and accessible. So yeah,
I totally agree.
Next fight, I'm completely for nerfing Itzel if they bring in new ways to get around the map quickly. I mean, you all have to admit the Itzel dashing is a little ridiculous. I think the Arcwing is quick enough on its own with the Afterburner as well. You know? Yeah,
no, they don't need to make an alternative. They just need to go, right, everything's moving at the same pace. I mean, it's similar to, or the same vein as Trinity being the best healer. Nothing beat her in the slightest, but you need a comparative. You know, it's like there was no reason to ever take anything apart from Trinity. There's no reason to take anything apart from the Itzel. There needs to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, nerf it.
Last one. On the topic of Garuda Deluxe, I'm honestly not happy with it. Not because it doesn't look nice, but because there are still older frames that should have one that don't. Where is Avara Deluxe, Titania Deluxe, Hydroid, Zephyr, Equinox, Mirage, or Harrow?
Yeah.
I think if you want an Avara Deluxe, what you need to do, play on PC, go to the Steam Workshop.
And buy Hitsusan's yokai skin.
Because that is the default skin, in my opinion, for Avara.
Yep. It's too good.
Yep. Too good.
Right.
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, clearly.
Right, should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah. But, oh, no, actually, obviously, that was jokingly, but at the same time, obviously, because we have Hitsusan here, yeah, we do get a lot more from... Because we don't have to literally wait for they release the prime frame, and then the premium version. And they even said they were going to go back and do some premium versions for things like Excalibur and Nyx again, which they gave them the blank game, Xeno...
Dark Sector.
Dark Sector skins, they just put them in there. So they actually haven't done one theory for those frames, so they're going to do those as well. But because we have the workshop, it does mean that DE can focus on other things at times, and there's so many more options available for you. Your stuff does come out on the other consoles as well, eventually, doesn't it?
Yes, not everything though, because it's DE that chooses what's best for the console. Like for the Nintendo Switch, for instance, they ask us like a small selections that they thought they would sell well on that console because of the audience that was playing on the Switch, for instance. So yeah, eventually most of the more popular stuff will come out, but not everything. I don't think so.
Is the Yokai Ovara skin on there?
I think it is, yes.
Good.
It's
there we go.
Yep, that needs to be
done. Job done. Right, there we go.
Okay.
Obviously.
Move on to topic 2. Right. There should be a way to increase the grass view distance in Plains of Eidolon. Without grass, everything in the distance looks looks like wet plastic. There should be a way to get your own render distance for grass.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, have it as a slider. Let people don't burn their machines or whatever. But yeah.
I mean, there is the default settings, but maybe your computer is able to do way more. And I don't see any. The thing you have to look after every time is anything that might go wrong in gameplay wise with some decisions like that. I don't see any. I mean, it's just the grass distance.
Well,
there's nothing that can be hidden in. Maybe there is. I don't know.
The only thing that I can think of, because like I played earlier, and I didn't notice this though. To be fair, I was actually conscious at the time. Maybe it's a simple case of if you have your particle effect set high enough, you don't notice. You know, the draw distance is higher. If that's the case, I certainly feel that they need to disconnect the grass render distance from the particle distance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the same thing, so yeah.
Well,
I don't know though. There has to be like a certain limit because in the distance you can't have drawn like a giant mountain where you can still see the grass. It will look bad. That I can tell you that for sure. But yeah, I don't remember how much it is in the game right now, but maybe something can be done. Maybe increase it a little bit further. It shouldn't be like a big problem because I think Digital Extremes should have that slider already for them to set.
Right.
So making it an option should be like easy enough.
Yeah.
Maybe not on console though.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to end up like Anthem where we slightly pseudo brick PS4s because of some settings.
Okay. Should we go into the replies? I don't know if there's much else to say on this apart from do it.
Yeah. So the replies are: could also decrease the view distance with denser fog being a bit closer, like the end of the grass render range. I'm not sure about too much on this because that's how video games used to be like 10, 15 years ago, where you'd start seeing like fog walls as a way to affect render distance, and it does mean it feels like you're just walking through a tornado of fog a bit. So maybe a little bit if they can do it clever, but I wouldn't want that too much. I'd rather see plastic terrain rather than fog wall.
Yes, the games work differently today, especially for streaming and things like that. It was quite different in the past. Pretty much everything was rendered around the camera and in a circle, and then you have the fog to not let you see that there is nothing behind that circle. Right now you have view distance, and you can look at the horizon and see everything that's there. And also that circle that's still loading the stuff. But there are new technologies that if you have like a polygon in here in front of my face is not rendering in your video card, so it's saving that power. So it's quite different. I don't think you'll save much from having the fog. That it's quite efficient already, so it won't be faster. Not that much.
The only thing I can think of really is to render a different texture on the terrain to make up for the lack of grass, so it doesn't look like wet plastic.
It's possible. Yes. Texture based on distance. Because there is already a resolution based on distance, and you can also have different textures based on distance. So it's possible, but that would mean digital games have to increase the number of textures in the game.
Yeah.
So and by doing that also in the RAM. So I don't know if it's a benefit for the entire game, because I think like on console like Switch and Xbox, PlayStation, it's quite like super balanced, the thing. It's really difficult to alterate without losing frame rate. So yeah, all those things are possible, but it's you have to see if they're worth it. Also worth the time, because maybe it's not that much of a big of a deal, but it will take a lot of time to implement, which means they can't work on something else.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should look at what the replies are saying and maybe judge any changes based on that.
But we already are in the replies. You know, that was reply number 1.
Was it?
Reply number 2 now, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Reply number 2. I find at night it looks even more unattractive, like a vast, muddied wasteland. Fair enough, they say so. Next reply. Good, now I don't need to... good, now I don't need to make a post. The shiny dirt is ridiculous. It all looks like mud, and the render distance is way too short. We should at least be given a slider to set render distance. Now, actually, I'll do the last one when we get to it. The last one says, stuff like this looks really artificial and janky. I guess maybe if it were wet and even only in pools of water. Now, as we said about consoles, I think what's going to happen is the version we've got now probably will be for consoles, and they will probably try and do a better version for PC, and maybe we'll get the slider, but their first priority is to get it out to everyone. Not just make the PC one as best as possible, then try and fit it onto consoles.
Well, maybe if it's just a problem that it looks muddy because it's reflecting a lot of stuff, maybe that's a setting that can be slide down a little bit, because it definitely is. So maybe they didn't notice the problem before, and now that people are bringing it up, they make the change.
Yeah.
Like, just like that. It's just a slider, most likely, for them. I mean.
You know?
I honestly, I can't think of anything else to say that... I mean, I'll be honest, I played it earlier and I was just like, this just feels the same to me. Like, yeah, okay, nicer trees, I like the trees, but I'm still experiencing the same gameplay.
Yeah, same game.
I've got no opportunity to enjoy the scenery. You know, the thumpers. Well, I ended up watching a video from Annoying Killer as he showed off the thumpers, and I was just like, really? That's it?
Yeah, I hear you just shoot them in the knees or something.
Yeah, that's what he, take off their knee guards, shoot them in the knees. The end.
That's it?
That's it. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch PewDiePie, but he does. He's done a video series where it's one of those VR games where he's fighting people.
Yeah.
He just goes for the knees. So when you said go for the knees, I'm just like, oh dear. Yep. I'd love to make a compilation of that. Just go for the knees. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. But as for the graphics, I mean, I'll have to have a look at it. But I've played it a little bit since it came out because I wanted to have a look at it. I haven't seen this effect too much, but maybe if you are arc-winging and you're high up and you look down, you can see it. But I was just on the ground and K-driving, and I didn't see anything about weird ground or whatever. But I'll have to go look at it. But I think as Hitsusan says, they can probably play with some dials and make it less reflective and shiny. Yeah. So should we move on?
Yep. We shall. To the next topic. That's what we got to do. Right. I can't think of a card for it though.
I would say, do you think it needs to be changed? But I don't think this topic needs a card. I think we should move on.
Okay, moving on. Right.
How many cards we had?
2.
Yeah, so we're okay for par for cards anyway.
So we got to waste all 3 the remaining cards on this.
We don't have to use.
We have to use all. We have to use them all. Right.
Can we have a card that says does it should Xeno use all the cards?
Yeah. Okay. I have a card. Should Xeno use all the cards?
Should Xeno use all cards every week? Right, there you go. And one of the answers has to be bonus duck.
Can you write that down? Because I'm going to forget.
Yep.
Hitsusan is thinking, what the hell have I agreed to?
No, I knew. No. I knew what I was getting into.
I knew.
Yeah.
This infamous craziness.
Right. While Xeno's writing that down, just quickly.
Or written it down.
Done. Oh, okay. I should have.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to ask him if he had any projects on the go now.
Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
So we have in the workshop a new sword.
Nice.
That's done and done. It's for like the proper swords, so one-handed. And cool. On the works, there is another like. All right, I'll tell you. It's a great sword. We're working on a great sword. That was something that people wanted very well. But we have at least another 4. Like, I've made like this giant sheet with I don't know how many swords concepts, and we agree on doing them all pretty much. So it's gonna be great swords. From now till the end of the year.
Wow.
I don't know. We'll see. What else? Oh yeah, Valkyr should be approved. I've made some changes like yesterday. Some last small changes that they requested me.
Yeah.
And they're all fine. So it's pretty much guaranteed. And we'll see what's next. There is quite a lot of stuff in the next dungeon round, I think.
Is Hildren and Wisp coming in soon, or are they not available yet to make stuff for?
Hildren, it's already available, I think. Wisp, not yet. I think it's gonna be like a month after it's released. or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's sooner. Who knows? But it has to be released first.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Xeno.
All right, we'll actually go on to the topic now. Thanks, Loz. Right, so
I thought it was interesting.
It was. Right. Umbral Former enables us to use fully ranked Umbral builds, limited frames, 1 per Nightwave cycle. But that's the problem. Fully ranking Umbral mods makes their cost too high to use for non-Umbral frames. It's just not worth to rank the mods if it disables the ability to use them on everything else. It would also
I see.
All right, it would also make things like mod fusion more convenient. If we decide to rank up a mod that's installed in frames near their max capacity, instead of needing prompt us to uninstall it from all of them, just auto set it to underclock it to what fits. Players would be free to rank up. Oh, I just realized I've not got this at maximum zoomed inness, which is actually making it hard to read. Players would be free to rank up mods all the way without fear of running builds. Speaking of ruining builds, maybe we should allow focus node underclocking too for all those Void Strike users who don't want to want the increased energy cost of Void Radiance above rank 0. Biggest impact on Umbral mods since we get only 1 copy, but other things like primed and corrupted mods that can be quite rare / valuable would also be nice to not need multiple copies of, and more new player friendly. I know I keep 5 different fleeting expertise currently.
Fleeting expertise, which I think is duration plus
it's energy efficiency.
Energy efficiency is definitely what a mod which is interesting to have at multiple copies of levels. I can completely understand that one. Though they've suggested about focus as well. My understanding is focus doesn't actually have a cap on your capacity. You can keep getting more ranks of capacity.
No, the point is with focus, right?
Yeah.
When you rank up a node,
you can't use the underclocked versions of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Don't want the increased energy cost of Void Radiance above rank 0. Oh, okay, so it's the ability casting has higher energy cost, right? I assume that's a node which you might want the later unlocks. You can't just turn off the node.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that one. See, that's So it's not the capacity in that case. It's actually the use of the ability is causing different things. But then I don't think we're going to see any changes to focus anytime soon, because focus seems to be one of the things they just rarely want to touch. As for underclocking, it is definitely something they've said they kept thinking about but never bringing to us.
Well, they said that they were going to do it years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but how they are gonna sell more cards? I mean, that's the problem, because the mod market is valuable because you have to have multiple of them.
Yeah.
So it's quite a content to have into the game. But if you make it like you can adjust the rank of your mod, it defeats the purpose of having multiples. Yeah, so people are going to trade less of them, are going to farm less for them, and it's gonna cut the gameplay quite a bit. So that's why they're not doing it. But yeah,
a partial solution for the problem is the Umbral Former, because if we had more Umbral Former, there wouldn't be a problem with these Umbral mods. Right?
As big a problem.
As big a problem. But so they're saying, we've only got one Umbral, we've only got one set of Umbral mods. Let us actually level them up to max, but underclock them, right? Well,
yeah.
Surely another solution to this is getting Umbral Former more frequently. Why can't the next Nightwave have the Umbral Former on tier 15 as opposed to 29?
Alright, but the problem still exists with other mods, so you're not solving like the entire situation. I think there might be a solution for the entire situation, which is maybe make the unique mods already like with the ability to underrank them, and maybe you have to collect, I don't know, 5 of the other ones and fuse them together to have one special that you can underrank.
So yeah, you have to unlock the ability to downrank a mod, and that is quite more of them. I think something like that could be good. Yeah,
but because that way you still need to accumulate like a lot of them, but then you have like this ultimate mod that maybe it's unique to your account. I don't know. You can trade, but like it works with multiple Warframes.
Sorry, did I not understand you? I thought you were saying that it's bad for DE if they allowed this underclocking.
If they literally just gave you right. So DE's point of view at the moment, if they put the effort in, because I assume it's probably some big end, a lot of work back end, to just literally give it to us now, the ability to go into the mod thing, go click a button and just go down, 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 up, 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 down, down, down. That would be very bad because there's a lot of trading going on for these additional mods and whatever. If they don't do any effort at all, that continues what it is, which is going to put more time into the game for players, and they have to do a lot more trading, which is good. But to actually make it worth their effort and time, they have to make it that they're going to put the effort in, and that players, they have to get some reward from player time and player investment as well. Because if they just give us the ability to do it, we just will trade less.
Exactly, and farm less.
Yeah, but if we have to unlock it for a particular mod, and then it comes kind of a bound to account deal, so that's now unlocked for your account, and that way you can just always equip a rank. It's going to have to be max rank, of course, and then I assume it's less database space as well, because it just goes, oh yeah, you have the ability to unlock Serration in super mode, let's call it, and then you just equip it and anything you want, and you can just up and down level it. But you can't trade it ever again, because it's your account bound one.
Potentially.
That might work.
The big thing is I don't know what this would solve over making capacity not a problem.
It's for things like fleeting expertise and corrupted mods, where there's sweet spots. Because the thing with fleeting expertise is if you equip Streamline and fleeting expertise, I think you go over the cap. So you don't really want both of them equipped anyway.
Right.
So you kind of want a mid-ish ranked one. But then I think there's other mods now as well. Some of the set mods as well might have something to play. And there's some of the helmets can come into play, which have negative increased efficiency. Sorry. So that is one of the good examples. The prime examples, even though it's not primed, that you actually want to have this ability to fluctuate, and that why people. I mean, I was even tempted to have multiple copies at one point. I think I've got spares at the moment because I'm just like, do I want to invest in that and have one at each rank? Because sometimes with that mod, because there's no prime Streamline, wink wink, you kind of need it.
Yeah, there are mods that I have like from the beginning that I've never capped, never went to maximum rank because of that.
Yeah,
it's quite. It's not that great because sometimes maybe I want to use them, but maybe I don't have like all the resources to make a new one like at rank 11 instead of 12. But if it's a goal to achieve that rankable mod, maybe I can work on that, and it's more content for the game actually.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like that because the other reason I like it is because it's not very RNG based. It's you put effort in and you're gonna get more copies of this mod, or you're gonna do something and then you just unlock it. So you can focus to goal to do it.
To achieve that, yeah.
Okay.
So problem solved.
I'm tempted to put out a card which is like, do you want the ability to overclock Sorry, underclock. Sorry, not overclock. Underclock your mods.
I prefer downrank.
Fine, downrank. Yeah. So, because I honestly, like, I don't know if I'd make use of this.
It's not. That's I think why it's not been a big issue on the tier list of things.
Yeah.
Because things keep happening where it's a very niche thing. There was a time when it was going to be more important because there was the old versions of the dark sectors when this would have been really important. But because they removed that, they then reduced the need for it. So it's kind of one of these weird things that comes into play when things happen in the game. And it's like teetering on important at the moment. But let's say they release another 10 Umbral mods into the game.
Then it becomes really important.
Exactly. So again, we're teetering on this issue where it's like, oh, it's not really, don't need to do it. We can manage Umbral form, managing, bring it back. And then, oh no, 20 more Umbral mods. Oh, there's Umbral everything.
Yeah, that tends to happen with like a problem that you drag on for a long time that it's not that relevant anymore. And yeah, it tends to come up in the future.
Okay, should we go to the community responses?
Sure. First one is this should apply to focus nodes as well, and obviously we pointed out why it's for certain abilities, certain ranks as well. The next one is I'd love to be able to form something and not have half its mods explode out everywhere and have to go find them again, so I can put in the ones it needs to be semi-useful while I level it up again. I'd love to be able to poke about with my mods to see what effects they'd have without having to rank up the damn weapon first. So I assume what they mean is when let's say you have a full build of 8 mods in, and you former it, and let's say you're only mastery rank 10, so you don't have a lot of capacity from, let's say you've even got a reactor in it. So you've got 20 capacity, but it was 60, 30 plus reactor done to 60. But you formed it, your mastery 10, it's gone down to 10, but then doubled, so it's got 20 capacity. Normally what the game does is it just pulls out all your mods. If you could downrank them, you would hit the formering, and it just reduces all the capacity, keeps your loadout as it is. You don't have to remember what it was, and then just lowers all the levels till it can fit everything in. That would probably be actually really useful.
Yep, no, that sounds useful.
Tobiah note about above. Pretty sure person is low mastery rank because things that aren't removed unless you don't have capacity. Yeah. But obviously I think when you hit about mastery rank 20, which means you're going to have minimum 2/3 of the available capacity on any weapon at any time, is when it becomes, you don't really even care about if one mod's been dropped out or whatever. But before then, I can understand the person's point. Last reply. We really need to be able to either use mods at any level to the level we've upgraded them to, or to get multiple copies of pretty much every mod, especially Umbral, Amalgam, Primed, Login Reward, etc. I'd take either option, but I certainly prefer the original post, though it will obsolete hundreds of partially ranked duplicate mods I already have. But that's life, eh? Well, it won't, because you can just cycle them for Endo, so you get the Endo back. So,
or at least some of the Endo back.
Yeah. So that's it. And I think we all agree that it would be there is some niche use for this, but we are teetering on the potential of this being quite important if we see a lot more Umbral in the future.
Yep.
Which I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, because there was a recent dev stream, I don't know if it was the last one, they were talking about, like, will there ever be more Umbral Warframes and things? And Jeff was really, I don't want to go through that again.
I think the likelihood is there'll be mods and weapons, but Warframes less likely. Mods seems easy for them to do.
Yeah.
And that means more grind. And they like
because
grind.
They have to put like a story behind the Umbra Warframe, so it's quite long.
Oh, that is something they brought up actually. They did say that the last few frames haven't had any quests involved with them. And they did say in the past they were going to do a new method of inputting the lore. They are still working on that, and it should be coming soonish or something. And then when they do it, they will retroactively do it for the previous frames that haven't had any lore entry things for them. They didn't say anything about what it was, but obviously, and that could also apply, in theory, they didn't say this, but it could apply to Umbra frames as well.
Well, they spoke about doing it as a comic.
Yeah, they talked about many things. But that's it.
I see. Instead of making a quest, yeah, that may work.
Personally, I would prefer the comics because I feel that they're not restraining themselves from doing we can't release this Warframe because we can't make this door purple. We have to wait till we get the technology of purple door before we can.
That's exactly the kind of thing they said. They said that it meant that they were holding back things from releasing them because they had to.
Because you have to have the Warframe before you do all the cinematics and the quests.
Yeah,
and the powers.
That's one of the reasons why I think I've done this in the past. If you watch it was the PS4 release trailer, but it was called the Prophets trailer, the one for Valkyr's release.
Yeah.
When it shows you Alad V, it's actually Mag that pulls Alad V and throws him out the window. That was supposed to be Valkyr, but the model wasn't even ready yet, so they had to stick something instead. So they stuck Mag in there. So,
yep.
History.
All right.
Point.
Right. Let's move on to the memes then, Loz.
I love memes. So it's meme frame review. There we go. Now we're going to look at some memes, boys and girls. Okay. So Hitsusan, these are pulled from the meme frame subreddit, and we're just going to go through them one at a time and just look at them and listen to Xeno laughing at them. Go. Right. Ready, Xeno?
Yeah, first one's up.
First one's up, the true questions in life. And I thought, let's start with a point on this one. This is a common meme with the two buttons normally competition. It's like hard to pick between them. And obviously this is post it on the normal Warframe Reddit and you get banned because they don't like memes on there. Or post it on the meme frame Reddit and nobody gives it an attention. And I did this mainly because the amount of upvotes on this one was like, yeah, it's very true as well. Very hard choice to make. Second one. Finally. So I don't know if you guys have watched the YouTube rewind of 2018 with Will Smith at the start.
Yeah.
It's rewind time! With the Nightwave at rank 15, I think at rank 20 something, you get Kuva.
Yeah.
So it's reroll time, and he's holding a ribbon. There you go. Bit of a simple meme there. Number 3. Oh, this is a JoJo meme, and there has to be a JoJo meme in there so that Xeno can explain it to me, or at least understand.
I haven't finished watching the season.
Bloody JoJo, I don't get it. Controlling your murderous impulses for the good of Riven opening. I assume the Riven is complete a survival mission with level 30 or higher enemies without killing anyone with a decaying dragon key equipped. Oh my word, is that an unlock? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so and then obviously you've got the JoJo reference, which is his Loki. The fact I'm not doing anything right now shows my resolve. They're not fighting back, I think is the key point there.
Yeah.
Right. On to meme number 4. Yes, there was many Anthem ones I saw this week, but I just chose for the generic one. This is an accurate meme. It's the everyone this, somebody of a particular thing, response like this. So, new looter shooter game comes out. Everyone's like, Warframe veterans. Warframe is a game which will never lose. And I do believe that's from Dragon Ball Super with Jiren, and Jiren will never lose.
Cool.
Moving on.
All right.
5. Oh, right. Here's another Riven one I was thinking about. Yeah. When you guys were saying about hard ones. So this one. Want to sell Rifle Riven mod 5 platinum only. Rifle Riven mod. Catch 5 fish without missing a throw or taking damage. And then we have a Vombalist. I'm about to end this man's whole challenge. When you're fishing, yes, I've got 4, and then Vombalist comes along and goes, poke. And they do. Look at their smiling faces. Every time. Right,
Excellent.
Moving on. Number 6. This is for Xeno. I think it should be Brobron, to be honest. When you don't kill any Kubro on a mission on Earth, then it's, Do they still have that passive on Oberon?
No. They got rid of it ages ago.
Do you miss being a Disney princess?
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Oberon was best Disney princess.
So, moving on to number 7. Oh, there were so many of these.
What the fuck?
There was one for every single tier of they were all was it Korra?
Yeah.
What's the show called? I've forgotten.
Avatar: The Legend of Korra.
The Legend of Korra, that's the one, right? Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there was loads of these for all the different relics, and this one was when you find your first Neo Space Cabbage.
Lol.
And there was obviously when you find your first Axie Space Cabbage, there was a person like cheering, holding it up. But I just thought this one looked ridiculous, so there we go. Moving on to number 8. This one madly I've never upvotes. This is an Ed, Edd and Eddy reference. Life has many doors, Tenno boys. Novas with 235% range in a nutshell, obviously on the plains, because everyone uses it to get around for wisp farming.
Yep.
Moving on to number 9.
What the fuck?
This is so me, by the way. I'm exactly like this.
Yeah.
20%? Nah. 50%? Nah. 75% off! Where's my one? Yep. Yeah. That's exactly. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Every player ever.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Number 10 is our Marvel reference of the week. I'm in 3019, I guess, already. When you want to make 1,000 strength Rhino, but you don't have the mods to do it. Now, obviously, that's just the Iron Man 2 reference. I'm limited by the technology of my time. So in the future, we will have the mods. We will have the technology.
Yeah.
Number 11. I actually did really bad this week. There were so many good... Well, I felt they were good, but memes I just couldn't chop down. Anyway, next one. My first impression of the new Thumpers. I don't know if you guys have seen hydraulic press channels, where they will put just about anything in a hydraulic press.
Oh, okay.
Have you not seen those?
No.
Have you not seen a phone book in a hydraulic press?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe I have.
They're amazing channels, and obviously the Thumpers have hydraulic presses.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on to the 12th one.
What the hell?
Okay. So, how it be? The Corpus in a war against the Grineer. Happy, smiley, brown people. The Corpus during a financial issue. Serious face. The Corpus when that some shiny people tried to close the weird holes in the ground. So, I don't know if you probably haven't played the Buried Debts event, which is the recent one, Hitsusan, where that basically you had to put these canisters in these fractures in the ground, which were spewing out energy. The Corpus that attack you when you're sticking random things in the ground to seal up holes are some of the strongest Corpus in the game for some reason.
Yeah.
No one knows why. They throw everything at you because you're trying to fix a hole in the ground. It's mental. All right, moving on. Number 13, I think.
Yes.
Oh, right. Now, I had so many options to pick for the Solar Beam Kamehameha, and I'm going to mention another one, which is the Spider-Man 2 Dr. Octavius, when he says, like, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
That got put so many times, but I went for this one. Look at how they massacred my girl. DE. Nerf the shit out of a fire-based Warframe because her fire was too hot. Now, if you don't know what that means, is that Ember years ago used to be an amazing Warframe, and she had an ability called Overheat, where she took like 90+% less damage, and she was the combat mage, and they nerfed the hell out of her. Now, also, DE, in the future, give a Ghost 3 Warframe the ability to channel the power of the fucking sun. And then it's the, am I a joke to you? Yes. Why does the Ghost Frame bring more fire than the Fire Frame?
Is that not actually about the is it World on Fire?
Yes, you're right. They also nerfed her World on Fire because people were using it too much to do much damage, so that now it shrinks in range as you use it, but it does increase the damage. Yeah. But it does mean you have to run around a whole lot more, and the range does shrink quite a lot. I've tried playing with it now.
I'm fine with it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Right, I think this is number 4. Okay, the last two are my bonus.
Wait, whoa. What do you mean last two? There's only 14. We only support 14 laws.
We only support 14?
Do I have to add 15 in now?
I think I added 15. No, you can drop 15, actually, because 15 is just me joking about the insult. So let's just go with 14, because it was the most upvoted one I found, and I thought it was so cute. Let's just stick with 14. Okay. To the generous and patient veterans, we salute you. And we have a Mastery Rank 24 Tenno hosting an open squad, and then a Mastery Rank 3 Tenno with an affinity bonus. And it looks so happy. Oh. I thought it was so cute. There we go. So that's the last meme of the week.
So
let's move on to the community shoutouts.
Right. Okay, so first community shoutout of the week.
Oh, hang on, let me just post these. Find them. Post them for copy and paste.
So the first two are videos, but
oh, okay.
The first community shout out is Joey Zero's weekly Warframe show, which is about resources. And yeah, just link can be found in the description below. I don't know if Loz has clicked on it.
No, I saved that Joey's show for later. I was going to the next one.
The second community shout out is the Plains of Eidolon remaster by Zanuka. So just
lovely shots in here.
Yeah, absolutely lovely shots. Very nice, peaceful music. You know, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Very nice. The third community shout out is this Misery, one of Stalker's acolytes, by Cleo Natarin.
Oh wow.
Yep.
We serve the shadow, the stalker, the truth. Edged stalker fanboy, Misery. Fair enough. Lovely.
Pretty nice.
I wish they would do something with their lore. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what. Yeah. Anyway,
I wish they'd do something with any of the lore.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! Deep burn.
Where's Hunhao? Right?
What's Voidvor doing?
Yeah. Anyway, so the fourth community shout out is Mirage, Sarin, and we think that's Chroma. All Prime variants.
That's Chroma Deluxe skin.
Deluxe.
Yeah.
That's not the Deluxe. It's definitely not the Deluxe skin. That might be the Prime.
Oh, Prime. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
By Chicken Draws Dog.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'd watch that anime or American TV show, whatever it's going to be. I'd watch that. That'd be amazing.
What are we on now? The fifth community shout out is this lovely Excalibur Umbra and the Limbo Deluxe skin, which I can't remember the name of, by Eon Height. Aaron Height.
Nice. I would say there's a lot of grey at the top, though. I mean, the art is, but I do feel that there's just this large grey block at the top. I'm just like, could have probably
Dead Space.
Yeah, with Dead Space in that one.
Yeah,
the art is awesome.
And then the sixth community shout out, just for Loz, is this Pixel Hydra Children.
I love it.
By the Changeling Witch.
I need to learn to do Pixel.
So, yeah. That is it.
That's very cool.
That's it for the community shout-outs.
The sound of 15 abs flexing in unison. Nice. Right. Should we move on to the last section?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So it's my random quote, which is from a movie, and you guys have to guess the movie. And I've just changed all the nouns normally into Warframe ones, and we like to call it terrifying something. So here we go. Your home, Iron Wake, is one of many bases in the solar system. There's also this one, Larunda Relay, Cronia Relay, Orcus Relay, Maru's Bazaar, and a bunch of others we don't even mention. Voidvor, or as you think you know him, Captain Vor, stole the Janus Key, the most powerful object in the solar system.
I've got a bloody clue. Okay, so is it pre or post 2000?
So this movie came out in 2014.
Have I seen it?
We saw it together.
Did I want to gouge out my eyes?
No, I think you enjoyed it. It was an animated film.
Do it again?
Your home, Iron Wake, is one of many bases in the solar system. There's also this one, Larunda Relay, Cronia Relay, Orcus Relay, Maru's Bazaar, and a bunch of others we don't even mention. Voidvor, or as you think you know him, Captain Vor, stole the Janus Key, the most powerful object in the solar system.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Go for it.
So, is it 3D animated?
I think so.
What do you mean you think so? If we saw it together...
Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure how they made this film. It is an animated film. I think I would maybe give it away a bit, say it might be a combination of things. The way they animated it.
Okay, so that's definitely not the film I think it is.
What were you thinking?
The Lego Movie.
Yeah, that is the Lego Movie.
How is it a combat?
Some of it is they actually got some of the Lego bits for some of it.
Oh.
No, I thought they 3D rendered the whole thing. Like, yeah, there was this huge...
Most likely, yes.
Yeah, they did this huge thing where they actually scanned in loads of pieces. It's all 3D rendered.
Well,
none of it's stop motion.
Even the live people animated bits?
Yeah, they're all 3D rendered, Loz.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still a combination of things. That's the live action stuff.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is? It's
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it once, but don't remember anything about that movie. So,
yeah.
All right.
So that was the Lego movie. Cool. Well,
it was impossible for me to guess.
Yeah. So that's it for this week's episode. Hitsusan, thank you very much for being on the show. It's been absolutely lovely having you.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Yep. And hey, maybe we should just sit down and play some Warframe sometime. You know?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah.
Cool. Now,
I need to get back to the game. So
now we just have to find
it's a good
time.
idea.
Cool. Right.
Exactly.
Well, that's it for this week, and we'll do the end slate thing. Which one is it? Yes, that one. Cool. Loz, you not gonna say anything? No.
Oh, I don't really know what to say. I'm just looking forward to these great swords of amazingness coming in. Was it 4 great swords we were promised? That's what
I think it's 5.
5 great swords. With their powers combined, I will be invincible.
We don't know. One, it's looking cool already. The other ones, I don't know. Maybe some of them won't come out that great, and we'll discard them. But it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3.
I'm sure it's going to be amazing.